Okay folks, it's been a while since I've done a video, so I'm probably going to be a bit scratchy tonight, but I'm just going to do a quick one on F charts. I had a couple of questions this week about how I identify swings, and then another one regarding writing a formula for a 10 cent, looking for 10 cent tick change play. So I'm going to start there, and I do have one written for this, so I'll go to scanner here, choose, and I'll see if I can find this one. I think it's just called near 10 cents or something like this. As you can see, I've written a lot of formulas over the years. Some I use still from time to time, some I don't. Right, so it's very simple. It says that close is less than 10 cents and the close is greater than 9 cents. I've put a tiny little volume filter here, so the volume multiplied by the close is greater than 25,000, so at least it's traded $25,000 worth of stock for the day, which obviously isn't very much, but it filters out the totally illiquid ones. And I also filter it to say, and the close is greater than or equal to open. So I want something that has at least gone up today and is heading towards that 10 cents rather than coming back down from it. So it's a very simple formula, that's all it says. We can run this just quickly. We go select all, so it's running all watch lists, start scanning. I think you'll find it'll probably only pick up a couple of stocks. There's quite a few between the 9 and 10. A lot of them seem to be on the way down. So while this is running, I should see if I can pull up Spark, because I've got a Spark window that, and I'll drag it across to this monitor. Spark actually has a filter, and you can see it here. I've set up a filter on it that says near 10 cents as well, and that's dynamic during the day, so that pulls up anything between 9 and 10 cents and sorts them by relative volume. So that's dynamic during the day. I'm watching that as the day pans out, so that's a really handy tool to have, and probably I see more of my 10 cent plays from that than I do from F charts. Anyway, that scan's completed, so we'll go up here, and I've got one under big. I think there's a data problem with that one. My data's been playing up a little in the last few days. Okay, NBS, there's one that's closed at 9.9. Could say this is a high or low, so I'd probably look at that and see if there's any action tomorrow. Doesn't scream out at me. And a few here, KTE. It's hit 10 cents, or what's that hit? 9.9 a few days ago, so I'd probably set an alert there for 9.9. See if we can break that. I'll see why I actually mentioned this one today. It broke on news but couldn't kick on today. And WCP, which is actually closed where it's open, so and not much volume. So again, I'd probably maybe set an alert at 9.9 for that one, but possibly not. But I'd tend to keep an eye on those predominantly from the Spark window, not so much from running the scans. Now regarding swings, when I post this video on my blog tonight, I'll post a link to a previous video I did about how I run a price and volume scan each night, because pretty much that is where I find a lot of my swings from as well. That price and volume scan will bring up anything from 50 to 100 stocks each night. Now, I run this one every day. It's basically looking for stocks that have closed higher on at least 10% increased volume. Has some volume filters again, and I'll look for stuff that has closed within the top third of the candle. And like I said, I'll post a link to the video I did on that one a month or so ago. But I run that over all stocks every night, and I'll run that now. And then from then, the ones that are really strong, I pull into weekly watch lists, and then on those watch lists is where I look for the swings. So a lot of the time, if I have the time, I'll actually go through each of those charts for those last 4 weeks of watch lists. I have 4 watch lists that I rotate on a weekly basis. So once they're 4 weeks old, they get cleaned out with the new week ahead. But if I have time, I actually run through all of those stocks individually each morning and then set alerts based on what I see. But I also have a couple of formulas that I've written that can sometimes help look for them if I haven't got time, and they're not fail-safe, but I'll show you one of those. So that came up with, I think, the price and volume scan came up with 110 odd stocks, so quite a few. And if I go to the smaller ones, just to give you an example. something like ADU, if that was a nice strong trending chart like it is there, I would add that to the weekly watch list so that I know anytime in the next 3 or 4 weeks I'll be keeping an eye on that one. Flicking through those, that's a really nice chart there, AIW, not in that one, but again I'll be putting these into the chart so I can keep an eye on them in the future. So I've got a collection of stocks that have been in play over the last month. Alright, but I'll run that scan, and I think it's actually one I got off the internet. It was called a Connor strategy. Again, it's very simple. ADX is a trend measuring indicator. Anything under 30 is not that strong a trend, so I want to look for something that's trending relatively strongly on a daily basis. So I've said ADX is greater than 35. You can fiddle with any of these numbers. And plus DI is greater than minus DI. That simply means that it's trending up and not down. And then I've said, and the low is less than or equal to simple moving average 1, and my simple moving average is just a 4-day average. So what I'm suggesting is I'm looking for stocks that, and then I'll go to the watch list. I clear all these and I only scan those 4 weekly watch lists that I have. So I'm looking for stocks that have been in my weekly watch lists. They're still trending nicely, but they've dipped below that 4-day moving average. So it's a very short-term dip. And we'll run the scan, see what we come up with. You can see it's finding probably 60 or 70 stocks. Well, there you go, it's finding almost 85. So it's still quite a few charts to go through. And there's no real simple way to find these potential swings. I set an awful lot of alerts every morning and go through these charts and just set alerts at potential swing areas. So first one up here, ARU, I'd probably look at that and either set an alert at yesterday's open or today, I should say. It's open or it's high. So it opened at $1.55.5. I might set the alert at $1.56 or right up at $1.60.5 for a wider swing alert. Because that's been so strong lately, I'd set that at open probably. So I'll set a little alert on that one. AUT, that red line there, by the way, is the simple moving average line. So you can see they've dipped down under there. That one probably doesn't interest me too much. Something like BTU, which is very steadily trending, I might set an alert at the high of today's bar, and so on. So I'll flick through these, and the ones that really interest me, I'll set an alert. So Triple G, I'll set an alert for today's high. LIC, something like that. I'd probably have a look at an hourly chart and set an alert based on an hourly if I wanted to. So they're the bigs. Okay, and the mid stocks. ALD again on today's high, and so on. So there's quite a nice one. AVB strong. 2 sessions ago, it's dipped. Nice size tail on this candle. So a break of today's high would certainly suggest a possible swing in place. So I'd be setting an alert at either at the high at 17 or at 17.5. So some charts like more than others. There's BMM was a perfect example, and I think I actually mentioned that in the Twitter today. So the alert would have been set for a high of Wednesday's candle, which was 68, closed at 71.5. So something like this one, KRL, I'd probably be setting a new alert every day and just bringing that alert down. So there's no easy way to do it. I'm setting an awful lot of alerts. Some of them go off and do nothing, but at least I've got a chance to do something about it if they do look good. LEG, a nice size tail on this candle here, so I'll definitely be setting an alert for today's high, and look at that one if she looks to break, and so on. We can have a look at a few more in the smalls, but I won't go through them all. I just wanted to give the readers that had asked a bit of an idea of how I do look for some of these. But alerts are really the key. The more alerts you set, the more chance you have of actually picking some of these up. And I flicked through these pretty quickly. ARH, super strong. Sometimes I'd probably throw some Fibonacci's on here. I'd run it from down here up to the top, get an idea of where we are on the fibs. But again, I'd set an alert at the top of today's bar and continue to adjust that alert if it keeps dipping, and so on and so forth. So if I see one that I really like, I'll pull into a close watch list. BLR's one I'll be keeping an eye on tomorrow. Again, I'll probably have a look at a 15-minute chart to look at where I'd set an alert for, because it's still pretty much in play. It was very strong on Wednesday, dipped today after a speeding ticket in the morning, but you'd think there'd be a bounce in it somewhere, and so on. There's one that definitely I'd be putting on my close watch list. It's run quite hard 2 days ago, dipped, nice tail, and bounced quite strongly. So any break of that 40, well, it's actually closed on its highs, so I'd be looking at that on open, seeing what sort of buy strength is in the depth, and take it from there. Obviously take into account what the market's doing, and so on. So I'd go through all of these and set alerts accordingly. So I hope that's of some use, and happy trading. I'll talk tomorrow or in the next few days. Bye.